Joining us now to talk about making sure that your form is correct for certain exercises and at-home workouts is Gayle Taub, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and owner of Gazelle Health. Gayle, thanks so much for joining me again this morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Gayle, when it comes to working out, having the correct form is one of the most important things to make sure that you aren't getting injured and that you are making the most out of your workouts. How can people know the proper form for some of the exercises that are doing either in home or at the gym?
Okay, so there's a couple of things that you can kind of pay attention to. If you're working by yourself, pay attention to how a particular move feels for you, not by watching other people, but actually doing it yourself. And be able to learn what it feels like to have something painful versus something challenging. That's probably the biggest differentiator that people have a hard time with is if something feels difficult, there's some fear there. There's some worry, especially if you've never been in a gym or you're not confident with the moves, if you're doing it right, if you're hurting yourself. And so there's a hesitation. So notice how you feel. If something is painful, then immediately stop. Don't go forward. You know yourself best. If you're unsure, better to err on the side of caution and stop. And at that point, maybe ask some questions or adjust in a way that makes sense for you. But if it's challenging, if there's not pain, but instead there's a challenge or a discomfort because it's difficult, then maybe push yourself maybe one or two more and see if you can get over that fear and barrier. That's probably the biggest idea is, this idea between pain and discomfort. It should be uncomfortable to some degree. It should never hurt, though, so you should always stop.
And Gayle, for those people that are working out at home or maybe are new to the gym or new to working out, do you have any advice for them to make sure that they are finding those movements that are challenging instead of painful?
Yeah. So start simple. That's number one, especially if you don't have a lot of experience or confidence. Start with very simple moves, very light weights, or perhaps not even any weight at all. Go through the motions and feel your body. When you're looking and you're looking for guidance on proper form, and you decide to look on the internet, also beware that we already know that a lot of what we see on the internet is not exactly what's good for us, perhaps. Sometimes it's not real, sometimes it's just not appropriate for us. So if you decide to look online and get some guidance from somebody who looks as if they know what they're doing, combine this idea of following their direction with how you actually feel. Again, and then decide, does it hurt or does it feel challenging, and go from there. That is one good way. Now, if you are someone who would prefer to find a professional to help you and know for certain that you're doing something in the best way, remember that guideline that I gave you about finding someone. That person should be credentialed. You should ask them or look up and verify that they are certified as a fitness trainer or in the area that you're looking for. And number two, when you talk to them for the first time, make sure they're asking you questions, asking you about yourself and about how you're feeling, your experiences, watching you move, and then being able to adjust. So you'll get a good sense for that professional, if they're someone that can serve you well, that they're really focused on you and not kind of just showing you what a lunge or a squat or a jumping jack looks like, but really watching you do it and adjusting appropriately.
And Gayle, if someone is working out on their own without the help of a professional or an expert, do you have a tip or trick onto how to figure out what exercise is going to be the most effective or is going to work the best for somebody, whether that's going online to certain resources or, asking friends, family, or someone at the gym?
Yeah. So if you're in this for total body workout, my suggestion would be to start small. Some basic moves like a squat or a lunge, if you feel that you're doing it properly and there's no pain involved, then start with one exercise for your lower body, your legs, your butt, one exercise for your upper body, whether it's your shoulders, your arms, your biceps, something like that. And then one exercise for your core, whether those are crunches or perhaps bicycles, something on the floor that you're comfortable with. And then finally, you should always try and get that heart rate up a little bit. But start small. You should feel like you've done something. You should feel like your heart rate has come up during your exercising. Maybe start with 5 of each of these moves and try to do them slowly and carefully, one at a time. And then maybe try to do 1 set of each of those 5 times. And maybe you feel like you can do 2 sets, taking a break in between, maybe a minute or so, and then doing it again. A few days a week is a good place to start. If you feel like you're more advanced than that, can kind of bounce from where you are, but give yourself an organized and manageable way to get started.
And Gayle, as we wrap up here, will you just real quick give us your information if people would like to have someone, a personal trainer and an expert to help them out with that form and their at-home workouts?
Absolutely. So my name is Gayle Taub. You can reach me at coachgayle.com. My name is spelled Gayle. So that's coachgayle.com. You can message me through that website and take a look at some of the content and the photographs and the information there. That you can also get me on my phone number. You can text or call me at 248-885-1400. Just leave me a message. I'll give you a call back and we can set up a time to chat.
Well, Gayle, it's always a pleasure talking to you here on the Splash Live. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us a little bit about some of the correct form and those at-home workouts that people in our community can do.
Awesome. Thanks, Maddie. Have a great day.
Thanks, Gayle. You too.